Understanding how to manifest is vital for anybody, especially creative people. And if you're starting this manifestation journey, or if you've been on the journey and you're not sure if you're doing it right, I'm going to break down the full process according to Manifest Your Destiny by Wayne Dyer. Now, in this book, there are 9 spiritual principles to manifesting. And honestly, I could break this down like a book report on each and every principle, but instead, I think we should talk about it in terms of 3 stages or even 3 phases to manifesting. All right, now the first phase here, or the first stage, is a shift in your awareness. Now, this is maybe a little bit woo-woo, but this is 9 spiritual principles after all. But this is an awareness of how we think. This is taking our awareness away from our ego. And when we think about who we are as a person, many of us think in terms of the ego, and the ego is concerned with the physical world, right? The possessions we have, what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, but that is not really the essence of who we are. The essence of who we are is actually the spirit, the consciousness that is aware of the ego. So in this phase, we are actually kind of detaching from the physical world and engaging more in the spiritual. Now, we are not our physical bodies. Our spirit is inside of our physical body. Think about our spirit and our body as if, our body is the apartment that our spirit is renting, right? And this lifetime is our lease. That is essentially the shift in awareness that we need to have. It's also tuning to be more at peace, because the spirit within us is always trying to be at peace. The ego within us is always trying to get more and more and more and more of stuff. So when we're thinking about manifesting things, we want to try to detach from the ego that is manifesting things out of, material possessions and, glorification or validation. Stepping away from that and really understanding manifesting as bringing us closer to peace, bringing our spirit closer to being in a peaceful state. The other shift in awareness is that the spirit is actually working with our heart. So being more aware of our heart is another really big shift in this phase. We want to try to feel the love. And this phase is also talking about how the spirit within us that is feeling the love is also the same spirit that is in all living things. So when we recognize and we're aware of the spirit that's within us, we can start to recognize the spirit that's within other people and all other living things. And then we can start to feel connected to everyone and everything, because this is one big group project. Your manifestation is not going to come to reality based off of you taking action alone. It is the work of everything, right? Even when you order something in the mail, someone else is processing that order, putting a shipping label on it, and then someone else is bringing that to your doorstep. It's a group project. It's a group mentality. So the shift in awareness is also recognizing that we are going to need a lot of help, and we are going to have a lot of help from the universe, because the same spirit that is within us is within all things, and that's what we can connect to. And the way we can connect to that is by feeling the love, feeling our heart center, right? And I kind of made a meditation on this to try to open your heart up and become more aware of the spirit within you. But that's essentially what we need to try to be more aware of. And that's what the first phase is all about. All right, the next phase is shifting your belief. We need to get rid of the skepticism. We need to get rid of the doubt. Those are things, by the way, that come from the ego. So again, going away from the ego and more into the spirit, more into the love, more into the heart space of who we are. And in that heart space, we must recognize that we can achieve our manifestation desires. We can achieve our desires, and we are worthy of achieving achieving them. And this is kind of a big shift in a lot of our programming, because most of us are programmed that we need to work really hard, put the rubber to the road and white knuckle and grind every day to make things happen. This is going completely against that programming. This is understanding that we are God, basically. There is God within each and every one of us, because there is a divine spirit that is within each and every one of us. And just based off of that alone, we are worthy of our desires. And fundamentally, this might sound a little bit woo-woo, but this is a big shift for a lot of us, because a lot of us are going to feel like we are not worthy for the things that we want. We might even feel guilty about it. This is where we need to shift our beliefs away from the guilt, away from the doubt, away from the shame, and into that of feeling worthy, feeling abundance, and feeling good about who we are. This phase is also our chance to practice our vision. What is the thing that you really want? See it as clearly as you possibly can, and now see yourself achieving it. Really picturing that thing that we want, picturing it in our grasp, in our possession, and understanding what that thing is going to make us feel. Honing in on the feeling of accomplishment, on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's what we're trying to tune ourselves to. And on a daily basis, we can practice getting into that space, practice feeling. Every morning we wake up, we get our mind into that space. What is it that we're trying to manifest? See it as clearly as we can and see it coming true. Really believing that it's possible and believing that it is coming. Now again, the ego is going to rush this process. The ego is going to tell you this might not be working. The ego is going to be skeptic of all of this. The ego is the thing that will hold you back almost always. Stay patient. Stay in your newfound belief that this is happening. Stay in a place of love. Stay in a place of kindness. And stay in a place of peace. In order for your manifestation to come into reality, you have to believe it's possible. Now, a lot of people challenge this by saying, well, what if I believe I'm going to be a professional football player, and I'm 40 years old and this and that? It has to be something that you really believe is possible for you. If you really believe that you're going to be a middle-aged football player, I don't know. Give it your best shot. But again, you really have to believe that this is possible for you and that it's also natural for you. Believe, like you can see yourself doing it and you can see yourself achieving it. Now, this is the last phase. It is daily practice. This is how you are going to totally change your life, okay? Especially if you're a creative person or if you're an artistic person. Chances are from day to day, you are just waking up and, going through the motions or whatever. This is how you really make this stuff happen, how you really attract this new success or achievement in your life. What we're going to want to do on a daily basis, and this is what Wayne Dyer talks about, is in the morning, we're going through our mental picturing of our manifestation. We are seeing that manifestation in our brain as if it is accomplished. And we are manifesting this sound. This, according to Wayne Dyer, this is the word of God, and it is the sound of creation. So this is not only the sound of creation, it is the name of creator, right? He writes in the book that all personifications of God all have the sound right? So it is seeing what we want to manifest, using that sound to sort of chant, to get it out into the universe, to channel all of the living things, all of the spirit that connects all of us. And every morning really becoming as clear as possible and as intentional as possible with that vision. Then moving into the day, what we do throughout the day, we hold a feeling of gratitude that this manifestation has been accomplished. Think about that thing you really want happening. How thankful are you going to feel? Whether it's a new car or whatever, how thankful and how grateful are you going to feel for that thing becoming a reality? That is the state of mind that you're going to want to have as you move throughout the day. And then the other part of this is being in a generous place. You want to practice being a generous person, because if you have all that you want, you don't feel any problems giving things away, sharing it with other people, being as generous as you possibly can in your day-to-day life. If someone's out there, asking for money, you give them $1. Like you really try to engage with being a generous person, because that will make you feel more grateful for what you have. And the more you are in the state of gratitude, the less power your ego will have bringing you down, trying to rush this process, trying to doubt this process, trying to make you feel guilty or shameful, or, basically trying to get in the way, right? The more grateful you are, the less power your ego will have, because your ego is the thing that will get in the way of you manifesting. That is the thing that will weigh us all down. So we're doing these meditations in the morning, and Wayne Dyer has these meditations for manifesting available. You can find it on the internet or whatever. I've downloaded it onto my phone, and I am going to practice this for 90 days because that's what he writes in the book, to step into this for 90 days. I just finished this book, and I am now going to start this daily practice, okay? So I can make another video following up on how I do this, how I do after 90 days. But the meditations in the morning, being in a state of gratitude and a state of generosity during the day. And then lastly, at night, doing an Om meditation. And that is designed to give thanks for the beautiful day that we have, and to give thanks for our manifestations coming true. So a lot of this is kind of a spiritual way of saying fake it till you make it, right? We are really trying to draw our manifestations toward us by aligning ourselves with that of the future person we would be if those manifestations were a reality. Does that make sense? So if we are in a state of lack where the thing that we want isn't in our life yet, if we stay in that state, it doesn't help that manifestation coming true. However, if we stay in a state of feeling grateful that it has happened already, that draws the experience to us. Remember, it is a group project. We are channeling not just our own energy, but the energy of all living things around us, right? Like Goku, that is telling the universe to lend him their strength. So that is essentially what these 9 principles are getting us to do. And I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. I mean, there is a lot in this book. And this is something that is in all types of motivational speakers and scientists and, all types of people that talk about manifesting, talk about this process. Now, where you can go from here, I'm going to put up right here. There is a playlist up here for meditations that I've made. And there's a meditation in there on opening your heart. That's what we're talking about with the first step, is awareness, being more aware of your heart and being more aware of being a loving person, letting love flow through you. All right. There's also a meditation in there on affirmations. That's like the second step here. This is believing that success is coming, right? Believing that you're in a state of success. And then, the and Om meditations, I'm going to leave that to Wayne Dyer. I'm not going to put my own spin on that. That is, that's better left for the experts. All right. So you can do that for 90 days, just like I am. And, leave a comment on if you have done this before, or if you do this, leave a comment on what your results are. I am very interested in that. All right. Now, if you're interested in attracting success, this video right here, this is the video I want you to watch next, because this is all about detaching from outcome. That's what our ego is focused on. It's all focused on outcome, and that's what gets in the way of manifesting. So check this video out next. I'll see you in that video. Stay creative.